Welcome in to all of our YouTube followers. We are also on TikTok today, so that is exciting to be on multiple places. And we are going to do some cross listing today. Very excited. Ashley Gutierrez, welcome in. You're the first one at Happy Hollow Haven. Hi, Desert. Oh my gosh. You were waiting on me. I know I'm getting like a medium start to the day. Like I've been having some allergies the last couple of days. It's really stormy here. So my eyes are super puffy and I woke up and they were like, so I had to do like the cold rag situation, but they're feeling better now. So I'm happy to see you. So we're going to do something I don't always do on here. A lot of times you guys know I usually photograph just like stuff for resale, but I have a whole bunch of stuff that has to get cross listed. So this is stuff that, recent stuff I've put up that you guys have probably seen. It's also stuff from like a while back. I haven't been cross listing that long. So I still have stuff in here because I had almost 1,000 listings. So I still have stuff in here that I didn't even have cross listed. So that's what we're working on. I was telling them about you and GT's, oh, nice. Are you on Discord? I am on Discord. I don't get on there very often. I'll be honest with you. I used to get on there all the time. Because I was in a game, I was on an online game and I was in a guild in there, but I have since retired from that because it was just sucking up too much of my time. I don't even know what my Discord is actually Pelican Delivers, which I need to change that. Yeah. So yes, I'm on Discord, but I need to fix that up. So hi, duckies. I think I caught you yesterday on a stream. Last night, maybe, was it? Hey, nurse. Nurse is in the house. Rebecca. Hello, friend. Top of the morning to ya. I'm allowed to do that accent because I'm highly Irish. I'm also German, but I do a really bad German accent. Hey, Ned. Hey, Magic. Yes, Ducky is helping Ruth last night with her stream. All right, there we go. I thought I saw that. I'm always like, I like sneak in. I try to look at everybody's stuff when it's late at night. You guys are all on way later than I am. I had TikTok on and we were playing a little Last of Us 2, still trying to make it through the second playthrough of that. Hey, Abby. Hey, Rebecca. So today what I'm working on is cross listing, and I'd love to show you guys my screen, but if I did, then you would see sensitive information. So we can't do that. But I figured what we could do is just kind of describe what I'm doing and see if it's something that can add value to you today. Maybe it can help one of you or two of you or five of you, which would be awesome. And if you guys have any advice for cross listing, please chime in and add. You know, as resellers, we all start somewhere. Thanks for the hearts too, you guys. We're up to 25 already. Wow, that's the same age I am. Wink, wink. Just kidding. No, I don't think I'd want to be 25 again. I've learned so many life lessons since then. Although my body at 25, I'll be pretty honest about that. Anyways, so if you got any advice for anybody out there, we all got to start somewhere. So if you are someone that cross lists and you do things differently or you use a different platform than I do, feel free to chime in because there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's you just kind of figure it out as you go. Hey, Bella Boo. Thank you for the follow, Bella Boo. I am making drafts but cross listing later perfectly. Yeah, because Flippin actually has like a crazy schedule. Oh my gosh, such a crazy schedule. Yeah, nice job helping. Same, I can just have 25 body and keep my 52 mind. That is the situation. You know, people always say like, what would you do different if you went back to high school? I'd be so cool because I wouldn't care what anyone thought. Hey, Kristen. Oh, I know my achy bones. I was doing my stretches this morning and I was just like, crack. Anyone that's under the age of 30 in here right now is like, what are you talking about? I wake up and everything's great. I'm like, enjoy it. So yeah, so we're cross listing today. So as I'm going through these cross listings, I'm just going to kind of like chime in what I'm doing. You're welcome to just work alongside me if you're working or doing something different. Yeah, join my team. Let's hang out. I don't really know what that means, but it means something cool. I got a feeling. So yeah, come hang out with me. Let's do this together. So my first tip with cross listing. So I use Vendu. Now I know a lot of people on here probably use Autoposher, And I actually have auto posture now, but I'm only using it to be able to send out offers. Life changing situation. So I usually send out offers to people at least 4 to 6 times a day. So I go into my eBay and send offers, my Depop and send offers, my Mercari and send offers. I had a bot already that was doing just Poshmark called Swift Seller, but I've since canceled that because it only did Poshmark. So I finally did what you guys said and signed up for auto posture. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I wait so long? Because I go to bed at night and offers are sent out. I wake up in the morning and offers are already sent out. It's the middle of the day and offers are already sent out. And it's awesome. I'm waking up to sales because those offers are getting sent out while I'm sleeping. So it is rad. Thanks, Fella Boo, for being the number one. Yeah, auto posture. Jennifer, I think you're one of the people that told me I should get it. Like, how many of you guys, there's so many of you in here that are like, I don't need auto posture. You should have auto posture. Now, I'm not using auto posture for cross listing. I am using Vendu. And the reason I'm sticking with Vendu is I have so many listings in there. I'm super fast at it. I already know it. If I upgrade my auto posture, it's almost the same amount that I'm using or I'm paying for Vendu. So it's like I'd have to cancel Vendu and then it would be a whole bunch of work doing auto. Anyways, long story short, I'm sticking with Vendu. Ooh, we got a thing that just flashed on the screen. Oh, that's fun. What that was, but that was really cool. What was that? A music play. DW said a music play. That was cool. I haven't seen that before. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm such a noob. Hey, Auntie. Auntie or Auntie, depending on where you are from. Okay, so I'm using Vendu. So what I do, my first tip is I do everything in bulk. So I take photos in bulk. I list in bulk. I ship in bulk. And what that means is I do it all at the same time. So if I'm going to take pictures of clothing, I will get all my clothing hung up like it is right now. And then I will hammer through and get all my pictures done. If I'm going to list stuff, I will sit down and list everything. Then I will cross list it after everything's listed. So I list everything first into eBay. And I know this is totally different than anybody else does. But I list on eBay first, and then I import it into Vendu, and then I cross list from there. And I've got a couple different reasons for that. One, on eBay, I can click that sell similar button and go to the sold comps, and I can just straight up list something that's already sold that's the same item I sell. I do a lot of clothing, so it's almost always has been sold on eBay, the item I found, unless it's like a really rare boy or something like that. And then I got to kind of make my own. But 90% of the time it's already there. So I do sell similar. So that's reason number one. Reason number two is eBay has the most things you can fill out, like in the details, the descriptions, all the little like caveats. It has the most things you can put in. And those are just things that are going to help my items to sell. So I really want to make sure I get all that in. And then what's nice about that is when I import it into Vendu, or maybe this is like it is for you guys on Auto Posture or any other cross listing app, if you use a different one, is that the information's already there. So then I can just like click, like go super fast. So that is how I do it. Now, you guys probably do it totally different. I think I missed something here. I used to know exactly how to change it. Yes, auto posture. I'm telling you, it's amazing. As you guys were good at waiting to switch from Vendu. Yeah, it's interesting. Me too. When I listen to List Perfectly, I have people working for me. So this works for us. Great. List Perfectly. That's another one. That's actually the very first one I ever looked at. My last post messed up. Yeah, I got you. And List Perfectly is actually the first thing I saw. Vendu was coming out at the same time that I started reselling. So it was just a really good deal in the beginning. Like I got it for like super inexpensive. And so that's why I signed up for Vendu. Hey, Phoenix, welcome in. Hey, Alco, nice to see you. Okay, so how I do this. So like I said, I list my stuff on eBay first. I import it into Vendu. And then because I am an efficiency girl, I love efficiency. If Vicious is on here, Vicious agrees with me on this one. Efficiency is key in this business. And for me, I try to open up as many windows as I can at once so that I don't have to keep going back and forth. So what I do on Vendu is I just open up tons of different tabs. I usually open up about 20 at a time. And then I can just go through each of those and get those cross-listed, close all those tabs out, go back into Vendu, open up 20 more. That is my method to my madness. Yeah, auto posture has been life-changing for sure. And like I said, I'm not using it for the cross listing. I'm sure it probably works awesome I'm just so deep in Vendu right now. I may change my mind later, but the price difference isn't really that much for me to like upgrade to the cross listing on Auto Posher. But I tell you what, you guys, I will forever like be outrageously grateful to you guys for you encouraging me to get the Auto Posher, because just to not have to send out offers alone, I probably have reclaimed, no exaggeration, at least an hour or more of my day every day, because I was doing it before I went to bed at night, when I got up in the morning, and then like at least 2 to 3 times throughout the day. And that takes time to manually go in there and send offers. So to be able to just send those is like, I can't, like I woke up this morning and I went to get my phone and I was like, oh, wait, I don't have to send out offers. Like, whoa, that's crazy. So, all right. So I've got all my tabs open. Let's get some stuff cross-listed. The first item that we have now, if you guys have followed me, you know that I write down the measurements of my listings when I do them. So what I do is I take a picture of something, I bring it back over to my desk, I open up my photos, and I write the measurements down. Why? Because I wear glasses. And when I go to sit down to list stuff, if I can't see the little measurements really, so I have to go in and like zoom in each picture, and it just takes like way too long. So for me, it's like if I can just do it while I've got the pictures there, open it up, and I don't have to like keep opening up everything. Like I said, how my brain works is I'm always thinking like, how can I cut a step out? How can I cut a step out? So for me, this has been a game changer, is writing them down at the time. I write down the SKU, I write down the size, and then I write down the measurements. And then any little weird things I want to make sure that I don't forget, like has a stain on the front, or button fly, or 1992 if it's a vintage item. So I'll write down the year, just because when I list it, I don't want to forget those things, because my brain will forget for sure. So what I do is I just set it up in front of me, and then I have an invention. Do you guys want to see my invention? I'm cheap. I'll just say that right out. I'm cheap. I like to save money. I am a penny pincher. So I'm sure there is a buyable version of this you can spend money on. But here is my thing. So what I do is, are you guys ready for an invention? This is kind of dumb, but I like it. It's so silly. It works really well. So if you look at my sheets here, you can see how the lines are crossed out. So the green line means that I have listed it on eBay, and the pink line means I've cross-listed it. And the reason I look at these when I go to cross-list is because, like, if I listed the item on Grailed, I need to be able to see the measurements. So I'll just scroll back up to the top to find the measurements. Efficiency, right? So I just cross it out with a little pink thing that lets me know, yes, it is listed, and yes, it's cross-listed. Because otherwise, things get lost in the mix. Like this sheet here, where is it? Is it this page here? I realized that I had totally forgotten to like, where is it? It's on here. It's in the book somewhere. I had totally forgot to actually like mark out, like there's one right there. I gotta find that item because I did not obviously cross-list it. Anyways, so when I'm sitting down doing it, I found that it was taking me way too much time. Vicky's like, yes, I know. I'm such a like nerd for organization. So what I found is every time I had to take the cap on and off of the highlighter, it took me like 2 seconds to do. And I'm like, if I'm listing 50 items, that's 100 seconds. I'm like wasting time. Plus, it's just annoying. Cap on, cap off, cap on, cap off, right? I was going to do just the clickable highlighters, but I have like sensory issues. So when I hear like repetitive noises, like people chewing their fingernails or like tapping, or someone like taps their leg or their foot, it does something to me inside, and it sets off like an anxiety bell. So we always say in my house, no tipping, no chipping, no clicking, no clacking, no chewing. Like it's a whole thing in my house. Like you can't do things loud. I don't know. It's just something with my brain. I'm a little neurospicy, if you hadn't already noticed. So I can't do the click thing. Click thing drives me crazy. I can't do it. So this is what I came up with. I needed to be able to put my pin in something where I could get the cap off easy. So this is a jar that I got from a friend that had all these little ideas for like positive affirmations you can do every day that she gave everyone for Christmas one year. I did all of the affirmations. And so I had this empty jar. So I was like, oh, what could I do? So I stuck a bunch of cal roast rice in there. And then I put the pin top in, and then I just taped it down so the pin top stays in. I know this is so silly, but now what I can do is I can just take the thing out and put it back in. So it just clicks in, and then at the end of the night, I can click it all the way down if I want to. And then at the beginning of the day, I just unclick that. So then I have the pin for the whole day. And I do that for my green one And this is a container I got off Amazon that's for powdered sugar. It came in a pack of 3, so I didn't need the other one. So I just taped it down. Vicky, what do you think? This is so silly. Back in school, trying to take tests, people chewing their gum, clicking their pins, crumbling paper. I could not do it. I literally was I was in high school. I had crippling anxiety in high school. But back then, there wasn't a word for anxiety. It was just like, oh, she's high strung, or she's hyper, or, she's neurotic, or like whatever the thing was that they used to say back in those days, because I am not 25 years old. And so back then there just wasn't words for that. But I would be sitting in class and like the overhead lights would go like little buzzing and I could hear it, or like people clicking or like clicking their desks or something like that. And it would be so hard for me to like concentrate. Now, of course, I should have gone to my mom and said, hey, this is what's going on. But like that didn't exist back then. People didn't know. I just did little amounts of work in school. And then when I got home and I would sit in my room by myself, and then I could, get the work done. OCD, like for sure. Like it was actually a problem when I was little. I used to count the windshield wiper blades in cars. I used to count how many, like when I walked, I'd have to go 2 steps over with my right foot over a crack, 1 with my left. None of my food could touch. So all my food on the plate had to be separated. I've gotten better, and I actually took some counseling and stuff to work through that to figure out how to like get my brain to not do that. But when it comes to like the clicking and the tapping and stuff, it's like something I can't control. Yeah. My parents kicked me out when I was 15, so I dropped out in the 9th grade. Yeah, that's tough. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I actually left school at the end of my 10th grade year. So I totally get that. Hey, Big E, food cannot touch. And I'm still kind of like that. I do eat pizza with the food touching. When I was little, I used to not be able to do that. And I remember my aunt like giving me such guff about it. And then of course, as we got older, she understood. Hey, CT. What's funny about now is I have my mom living with me. It brought up some stuff. Yeah, that's interesting. My mom, I don't know if you guys know, but before my mom passed away, I got the, I guess it's an honor to be able to take care of her after a couple strokes, and she was an organ failure. And we got to spend a couple years together, and she had regressed back to being younger because of the strokes. So I got to re-know her in a different way. We got to work through some stuff, and it was really cool. So I will treasure that time forever. It's good to see you. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, so this is my invention. So all you need is a container, some rice, tape, and then just put your pin in. And that way you can just take it in and out. Like I'm sure that there is something you can buy that does this, but you know what? This was my favorite price in the whole world, which is free 99. So there you go. So that's what I'm using. So I just cross them out once I cross list them. So let's get into it. It's been story morning, but that's okay. We're hanging out, right? Okay, so let's see. What is our first item here? So this is a pair of 2017 Levi's 505 straight leg medium wash denim men's jeans. Now, when I do my titles the same way every single time. I do the date if I can find it. I do the brand. I do the model. So in this case, it's 2017 Levi's 505 straight leg. Then I do the wash. So on these, it's medium wash, and then denim. And then of course, you want denim in there. Men's jeans. And then I put the original size. And then I also put the secondary size. And you know what I just realized, guys? I'll be able to actually show you these listings because they're already in eBay. Woohoo! So that's fun. Okay, so these are 2017 Levi's. So I'll be able to show you the listing. So this is the cross listing we are working on right now. Is this pair here? So you'll see I've got the year, I've got the brand, the model, the wash, the original size, and then in parentheses what they are now because Levi's always shrank. And then I also have relaxed in there because you can also have like loose, relaxed, baggy. If they were a Y2K, I'd put Y2K. If they were vintage, I'd put VTG. So that end part to me is always kind of like, it's just a throw-in word, something that I know is popular right now. Skater, indie, grunge, anything like that too. Hey, you finished pack? Oh, no, I'm talking to B. CT, are you packing? Why? What are you doing? Are you moving? What's happening? Give me the tea. Wait, give me the tea. Just kidding. You know that's coffee. Wait, you know it's cold coffee because your girl never gets a warm cup of coffee. It just always goes cold because my brain's like, brrr. All right. So these are up. This is up in Vendu. So then what I do is in Vendu, might be differently on whatever platform you're using, is I just scroll through and make sure all the information's correct. So I got the SKU number in there. Now, one trick that I do that I love that I started doing is at the bottom of each of my listings in the description, I write a bunch of trigger words. And I do this for a couple different reasons. One, you'll see down there at the bottom, Levi's, Western rock, rock and roll, rocker, all of those things. So the number one reason I do that is because those words are actually going to help you sell your items. So if someone types in the search engine like rock art jeans, mine will pop up. How do I know that this works? We actually proved this. Who was it that helped me with this the other day? If you're in here, I feel bad because I can't remember who it was. But someone typed something in and it pulled up. It was like a weird, obscure word, and it pulled up one of my listings for them on eBay. So 100% these descriptive words help. So I do it for two reasons. One, for that. And then two, when I'm doing Vendu, I actually can see my description and I can see the bottom. So when I go to put in my tags, because I'm allowed to do, tags in Vendu, auto posture might be the same or so on. Then they're just there and I don't have to like scroll back up and look at the item. I can just write down the tags. And then of course I always put the SKU number in the bottom of my listing too, which is 823 on these. The reason I do that is one, I can find it on my sheet super fast. And two, when I go to sell something on Depop, there isn't a place for SKUs in the listing itself. So I have to like go into Vendu, find the item, find the SKU, leave the app. On this, I can just go to the description in Depop and see it and then pull stuff out of the inventory room. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Douglas. Hustle. What is up? Do you use custom SKU on eBay? Yeah. So that's what I'm using is I'm using the custom SKU on eBay, but then I'm also putting it in the description because like I said, otherwise when I'm on Depop and I sell something, I can't see that SKU. I think Grailed might be the same way. I just don't sell a whole bunch of stuff on there. That way I can just see the item and pull it easily rather than going into my cross-listing app and looking it up. Or like when I'm packaging stuff up here and you guys see me shipping, I'll just look in the description rather than going into Vendu, finding the item, and so on and so forth, especially when you're shipping out like 8 pairs of jeans to 8 different people. I don't want to get them mixed up. I'm in the middle of a nightmare right now. Once I figure out what I did, I will share it all with you. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Does Mercari have a SKU? I don't believe that they do either. Yeah. So like I said, I've been putting my SKUs in the description for so long now that I don't even pay attention. I know on eBay and Poshmark, it's easy to see immediately. Like when I see my sales, you can see it there. All the other apps, I don't think that they have them. So I've always just used my description. Yeah, I don't think it does. So it'll just save you time. It saved me a ton of time. Maybe it's easier for you to go into your cross-listing app and look, but I like just having it there. So like I said, I've got my trigger words at the bottom, and that way I can put tags in. So on this one, my tags are going to be Levi's. On Levi's, I always do the brand as a tag because it's just such a, well-used word, right? So we're going to do Levi's. We're going to do Western. We're going to do rock. And we're going to do edgy. And we're going to do punk. So these have like a little bit of that kind of concert grunge aesthetic, that loose kind of, kind of, I always call it like the saggy booty. It's got like the saggy booty indie musician rock. And if you're ever trying to kind of figure out what words you think are going to work best, is I always just kind of picture the person that's wearing this. Like, who's wearing this? Where are they at? Okay, the person's wearing these is like playing a guitar on stage at some show that he's doing, and the cover charge is $5. What are the descriptive words for that? So for me, it's going to be like Levi's. Maybe they're doing Western rock. So Western rock, edgy punk. I try not to overthink it. And I always just do 5. If it's something I'm going to list on Grailed, I will do 10, but I'm not going to spend my time putting more tags in if I don't need to. So we got that. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I can find it on my list here. So we're looking for 823. So 823 is right there. And once I get down here to the very bottom, I get all of the stuff in. So let's see what's the size. So the size originally, now this is kind of an up to your own discretion. And I just started doing this recently, and I don't have an opinion on whether or not I like that I'm doing this. So what I do is on eBay, I always put the actual original size that it was. And then in parentheses, of course, I've got in my title the size that it is now. And then in the description, I also have the size it is now. My dilemma is that on Depop and some of the other platforms, you don't get to use as many photos. So I feel like if I miss any of the measurement photos and the person doesn't read the description, I could get into a pickle. So what I started doing recently, and again, I have no opinion on this yet, you guys can tell me what you think, is outside of eBay, I started putting the actual size that it is now. So these are now 36s. So I'm just going to put 36 because they were technically a 38 before, but I've had so many people that have left comments like on my Poshmark listings, or have sent me a message on Depop that are like, hey, thanks so much for the offer, but I'm actually a size 36. And it's like, oh, well, these pants are a 34 now. They're not going to fit you, but they were a 36 originally. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any opinions on that. I'm going to try it. I'll let you know what I think. I use eBay orders and unsold tabs on my phone by pulling my orders up today. Yeah, that works too. Yep, perfect. Okay, hey, Crystal, welcome in. All right, so 36 size type, regular weight. I fill out all the correct weights or close to the correct weights when I put my eBay thing in. And the reason I do that is because that way, when I go to auto list this on or cross list this on a Mercari, I already have I can easily pull up the amount to send it out for, because I don't want to get caught in a pickle and have a pair of pants that weighs, 1 pound, 9 ounces. And I've only put 1 pound, 3 ounces in. And that changes the price on Mercari because it changes the weight. And then you're going to end up in a pickle when it's purchased. So that's kind of my thought on the weight stuff. Poshmark doesn't really matter because it's going to be under 5 pounds. Depop, I put in my own pricing for orders. But Mercari and Grailed, they both go off of what you've put in for the weight. So that does matter. And like I said, I don't really do much Grailed. It's really only a few fancy items here and there. But Mercari will get you. Mercari will definitely get you. So we got 1 pound, 6 ounces, 10.62 for our measurements. Now, one other thing that I do, if you'll notice on all my eBay listings, you'll see that everything's 5% off. So I run a 5% off deal in my eBay all the time, 100% of the time. So when I'm pricing stuff, I already have in my mind, okay, I'm going to have this at 5% off. I'm also paying to promote. So let's say I want to sell a pair of pants for $24. I'll probably list them at 26. Because by the time it gets my sale on and then I'm able to actually sell them for 24 or 23 or whatever, 22, whatever the offer is, I haven't totally eaten the profit. So I already have those items, because I've already imported these from eBay, or I already have the sale prices. So the price that's up here is already the sale price. For instance, these pants started out at $16, $15. So these pants started out as $15. You can see that there. And then you can see that they are listed for $14.25. So that's the sale price. Always 5% off for me. Now, I could do a whole video on how to make that happen, but that's for another time. So that is, if you guys want a video on that, I can make one. But I just chronically run a 5% off sale. So now it's $14.25. So in my Vendu, it's listed as $14.25. I'm going to leave it at that. I could put it back up for Poshmark to $15 if I wanted to. But it's 75 cents. It's not going to really matter. It encourages people to get stuff on Poshmark. I always do a little, discounted shipping on Poshmark. Poshmark probably, in my opinion, takes the most money from my sales, but I don't sell a ton of stuff there, so I don't stress about it. Now, if you wanted, you could change the price and go back up. For me, it's faster. It's yes, it's 75 cents difference, but you know what? I can blow through these cross listings so much faster if I'm not going in and trying to edit every single price. It's I'm not going to haggle over 75 cents. Get it in, get it out. I'm a turn and burn seller. And what that means is I want stuff in my inventory and I want it back out as fast as I can. Poshmark will automatically round up to the next whole number. Exactly. And that also is really nice. So in this case, it's going to round down to 14. But on my next listing, if it's listed and it winds up being, $15.75, it's going to make it 16. So it all comes out in the wash, right? Okay, so let's go to Poshmark here. Now on Poshmark, I usually put 0 as the original price unless it's a modern item. Then I will look up what the going rate is, and I just look that up, through Google. Otherwise, I just kind of put it as 0. And then we'll buzz down to Mercari here. Nice thing about Mercari is I get to use all of the tags that I have. Ooh, that's changed. Oh, that's nice. So Mercari changed, you guys. When did this happen? And how did I miss it? So Mercari says it's allowing you up to 7 tags now. That's fun. This must be new because it's been, as far as I know, and I've seen on my end, it's always been 5. So that's cool. I can add a couple more in. So we'll do rocker and then we'll do casual. Huh. Fun. Hey, Stay K. That's rad. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but Mercari is now up to 7 tags. So that's great. That's 2 more things for me to use. Fantastic. Okay, so because I saved this originally in my Vendu form as 36, it still says 36 rather than saying the original, which was 38. And then we're going to get this listed. Shipping label, it'll go to the $7.99. Listing price. Now, I know I don't have to pay any fees on Mercari, but Mercari is going to get offers sent out, and I'm not going to spend the time to go in and edit every single pricing. That's going to take time. Time is money. That is not worth it, in my opinion. So we're going to scroll down here on Depop. Now, on Depop, it lets you put a couple other things in. So you're able to put in the source, the age, and the style. So for me, source is going to be pre-loved. Age is going to be modern. And then my style on these is going to be, we're going to do casual. We're going to do punk because it's got that kind of faded. And then we're also going to do grunge. So that kind of hits a different kind of categories. Casual is going to hit your just like everyday person looking for a pair of jeans. Punk and grunge are both going to hit that musician. If these were super skinny jeans, I'd probably also say indie. If they were skinny, I'd also put emo as well. And then for the size on this, we're going to do a 36 waist since that's what they are now. And the shipping price, I do $8.50 for jeans from where I'm at. It might be different for you. And we're going to get that listed. Once it's listed, I take my little pin here and I cross it out so I know that that is done. Perfect. Any other questions on that? Moving, in the words of the Muppets, moving right along. All right, the next thing, you guys actually saw me take pictures of this last week. This is the 2012 Zombie Outbreak Tactical Response Teams Men Black. So I'll show you what this looks like. Cool little t-shirt. So this is what we've got. This is what we're cross-listing right now. It is not vintage. It's a 2012. So that's what I always call like early modern, late Y2K. There's that weird time. They haven't really come up with a word yet for that between like 2010 and like 2016. Like there really isn't a word. Anything 2017 and over, I just consider modern. But that weird little time frame in there really isn't like a word for it because technically Y2K ended in 2012. So hey Palm, hey Frog, ribbit. Okay, so let's go into our description here. The first thing we're going to do is find it on our list, $7.94. Where are you? There you are. Perfect. Okay. And then we're going to write down our tags. And because I've got this in the description, if you missed it, this is what I do. So in the description, I've got words down there at the bottom that I'm going to use for this. And those are going to be my tags. And we're going to start putting 7 in since apparently you can do 7 on Mercari now instead of 5. So that's cool. Good afternoon. Nice to see you. Hi, Erin. Hey, Marie. Hey, thanks for the follow. Okay, so tags on this, according to my description, are Y2K. And yes, I have to look at my fingers when I type. I've got horrible dyslexia. So if I don't, it just gets really, really crazy. Okay. See, this just goes to show you can do this business even if you've got dyslexia and you're incredibly neurospicy. I think it's fantastic that anyone can do this. Y2K, skater, zombie. Although I kind of believe I can do anything because I believe that you get what you put out. And I know I'm awesome. Pat on the back. Everyone give yourself a pat on the back today, please. Right now, you're doing a fantastic job. You're doing it. You're up. You're working. Okay, so our descriptive tags for this is going to be Y2K, skater, zombie, skate. So SK8. If you look in there, you'll see that. That is an abbreviation that a lot of people use for skater on Depop. So anyone that is in the younger generations are going to type that. And then on this, I'm also going to do horror because we've got Halloween coming up, HORROR. And that'll just be something to kind of help, like if someone's trying to get something for like a Halloween party or whatnot. So we got men's t-shirts. This, let me check, make sure it's a medium. Yep, it's a medium, 9 ounces. I do 9 ounces for t-shirts rather than 8. And the reason I do that is because it changes it a little bit for Mercari. Because if for some reason, when the person at the post office weighs it and it goes over 8, Mercari is just so insane about making sure that everything weighs right and they're not paying more than they have to. So packages can get destroyed, shipped back, charged. I don't want to mess with that. So I do 9 ounces and then I don't have to stress about it. Very rarely is a t-shirt going to go over that unless it's like a 3XL or something. Okay, so this is going for $13.30. So on Poshmark, it'll be 13. And this is a little t-shirt that we picked up at a garage sale for like 50 cents or something. So, I mean, crazy profit on that. Original price, 0, because A, I have no idea. And 2, it would have been purchased way back in 2012. That's Posh. Zipping over to Mercari. Everything looks good there. Shipping label price is going to be $5.99 because it's 0.75. Listing price, $13.30. Fine. Going over to Depop, scrolling down to the bottom. And then our source. So our source is going to be pre-loved. Age is going to be, I'm going to put Y2K on this. On Depop, it's not a full commitment. You don't have to prove that it's Y2K. It's a 2012. So if I put modern, that's going to like trigger me into a whole nother category of t-shirts that people are looking for. If they're looking for a modern t-shirt and they see this, they're going to pass it up. But if they're looking for a Y2K t-shirt and they see this, they're more likely to get it. So style on this is going to be Y2K. We're going to do goth because of the black and the, zombie whole thing. And then we're going to do skater. Now, you could do other categories for that. I try not to overthink stuff. I go with my gut. I go with my instinct. And we're just going to go with that. Is it a medium? It's a medium. Shipping price on t-shirts for me, I always charge $5.99 on Depop. I've never had it go over that. Again, if you're a newer reseller, though, check on Pirate Ship and see what the cost is for you to ship stuff to like. This is what I did when we first moved down to Texas. How much does it cost me to ship to a random address in Seattle? How much does it cost me to ship to a random address in Maine? How much does it cost me to ship to a random address in South Florida? And how much does it cost for me to ship an item to Southern California? So for me, I just kind of went out like that so that I could see kind of what the pricing was going to be for shipping, because the cost of me shipping items from Texas out compared to when I was living up in Seattle out is totally different. I mean, I would have eaten it if I shipped a t-shirt for $5.99 from Seattle to like New York. So always check that. Hey, Marie. Hey, thanks for the follow, Paisley. I appreciate it. Our next goal is 4,000 followers. I'm very excited. You guys have been so like great with sharing this with friends and stuff. It's making me feel awesome. Hey, SCB. Oh, Big E's here. Hi, Big E. All right, another sip of some cold coffee. And we'll get that on Depop listed. We'll get our little invention pin here and get that crossed off. For those of you that missed this, this is not something you can purchase in the TikTok shop. This is just an old jar, some rice, and a pin. See, I dug that out because I was talking to you guys. Here, we're going to put another piece of tape on that, keep that in there. And it just helps me so I don't have to like open and shut this all day. I'm able to just kind of put my pin in and out. I know, it's a silly invention, but it works for me. Okay, our next item here is what? What do we got now? This is a 2010 Michael Jordan, The Mist of Grace, Greatness, Mist of Greatness. Oh my goodness. See, that's when sometimes with some words, my dyslexia, my brain kicks in and I'm just like, I literally can't say the word. All right. So this is what we've got up. Got this at a garage sale here in town for I think $1 on this one. So not bad. In fact, it was funny. This is actually the garage sale. There's this little kid there and I was like looking around. I didn't see anyone like I couldn't figure out who the working like adult was there. So there was this kid that was like maybe 10, and I was like, hey, and I was looking at the t-shirts, and he was like, those are all $2. And I was like, oh, okay, great. And $2 was still a good deal for a lot of the shirts I was getting. And then all of a sudden he comes back over. He's like, never mind. My mom said $1. So I was like, mom screwed up because I was about to pay you $2 for each of these. For USPS, is it that you live in a zone and you can't calculate shipping for each zone? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I just do a base charge because I don't do calculated shipping. I do flat rate for everyone. So I just kind of do the price that I know is going to cover my shipping. One item may be $467 to ship, and the next item might be $580 to ship. And I just kind of do it comes out in the wash kind of thing. Invite another maniac. Oh, no. Hi, maniac mom. I am also another maniac mom. Or manic, another manic mom. Just another manic mommy. Ooh. 580 here. So I would say that if I ship something to New York, let's say I ship a t-shirt to New York, right? It's most likely going to cost like $580, $590 right in there. Okay. So it's going to eat up all of the $599 I put. But if I ship a shirt to Oklahoma, it's probably only going to be like $487 or $512 at the most. So I'm going to make up that little difference, and that just covers my cost of stuff. So rather than putting in the actual weight of each item, I kind of do like a roundabout for myself anyways. Hey, Leanna. And I haven't eaten shipping in a very long time. I thought I was going to eat shipping last week if you guys watched me, but we didn't. Somehow we miraculously did not. I do calculate on everything, like every listing weight and measure out of box. I think I'm going to, yeah. So I did that in the beginning. But it doesn't always go as planned, like you said, especially if it's something where I've like underestimated a certain threshold. Like 21 is a magic number for shipping. If any of your items are over 21 in length, it goes up like crazy. So that's a trigger number. There's also a couple other like measurement trigger numbers, and I found myself eating it on calculated shipping. I ate it pretty big in the beginning. And then the other problem I have with calculated shipping is it doesn't take into consideration then if I'm, what is the cost of my poly mailer? What is my cost of my gas to and from the post office? What is the cost of my gas to get the item in the first place? I always think of those as like, I'm finding something for someone that they want it. They're paying for the item, but they also should be covering that little bit of like, things I have to pay out money for. My time is made by me going to the garage sale, but that gas and stuff, this is the way I think of it. I've been in the sales business for a long time. I used to do marketing for a living. And so for me, like, I just know that that's like your cost of travel, cost of time, like your ROI or your return rate needs to be all that has to be factored into that. So that's what I do. And eBay fees. Exactly. Also, here's the other thing too to think about. eBay fees are constantly changing. Things are constantly going up. If I pad that shipping a little bit, it leaves me a little bit of like mistake room in the like previously. Like this happened when I first started reselling. So the time between when I first started reselling my mom's stuff after she passed and then to when I actually got serious a few months ago and really started doing this full time, the cost of shipping completely changed. The cost of goods changed. The eBay fees changed. Everything changed. But because I had padded those a little bit, I still am covering the eBay fee cost, the cost of everything going up or down. Like the market's allowed to fluctuate and I'm still okay, if that makes any sense. Hi, Eric. Mama told me to stay away from that's funny. Okay, so we've got our 2010 Michael Jordan, the Mist of Greatness. I'm telling you guys, I thought I was tied with that one. So our tags on this one is going to be Jordan. It's kind of the same tags I do on all Jordan stuff. So I do Jordan. This is a Y2K. And then I do GOAT, G-O-A-T, which stands for greatest of all time. Jumpman, which is his line. And then Bulls. And then because I'm allowed to do a few more on Mercari, we're also going to do streetwear. And then we're also going to do MJ for Michael Jordan. that should be 7, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I'm so glad I can do 7 on Mercari now. That's fantastic. Okay, scrolling down. Is it a size large? Where is this on our sheet? I forgot to see what the number was. SKU 793. Where are you? 793. Okay, perfect. All right. So scrolling down, we are a size large and everything else looks good. Perfect. Save. Yeah. Yeah, and that is true too with the calculated shipping. If it seems to me like I was only selling items to people super close to me. So when I was in Washington, I would say most of my orders were like Nevada, Oregon, California, kind of that circle. Because by the time the calculated shipping, which is always more, it seems like, than what the real shipping is, or what I can get it for or ship it out for on Pirate Ship, like it would be $38 to ship something to New York. But it's like, wait a second. If I go on Pirate Ship and put in all the specs and do all that, all of a sudden it's 22 to ship that there. So it doesn't really make sense. So I just stopped with the calculated shipping. I know a lot of resellers that still do it and love it, but it doesn't seem to work for me. It screwed me up more than it helped me. So our original price is 0 on this because this is a 2010. So I don't know what the price was, and it would be lower than it is, than what a t-shirt is now. So we're not going to put that down. Let's go on in Mercari. Everything looks good. Shipping label on this one's going to be 0.75 of a pound, which is $5.99. I don't do smart pricing. I don't do smart offers. I don't do anything like that on Mercari. I don't want an app deciding what my pricing should be for something. I want to put my own knowledge in there. So the source on this is going to be Pre-Loved Y2K. Our style on this is going to be streetwear. It's going to be sportswear, and it's going to be Y2K. So those are my go-to for these kind of shirts. Size is a large. Jordan is the brand. And then shipping price is going to be $5.99 for that. And we're going to get that listed on Depop and done. Now, so you'll see if you've gone over to my Whatnot, I've got a lot of stuff listed on Whatnot. I haven't started doing shows there. I was cross-listing stuff onto Whatnot, but for the amount of time it was taking me to cross-list stuff on there, I just wasn't getting sales. Now, I may change my mind about that when I start doing shows over there, but I haven't started doing that yet. So I don't want to take the time. Time is money. Money is time. Okay, so we're going to cross that out. Perfect. Okay, moving right along. So we've got SKU number 822. That's those right there. Hey, Noah. ANGUBC 2023. 3 years now with 30,000 following. Now it took me 6 months to get going good. Is that on Whatnot? Is that what you're talking about? Oh yeah, Whatnot is great. Yeah, I signed up for it a while ago, and then I haven't done anything with it. So I've been recently watching a lot of videos, and I've had Misfit Minds kind of helping me. Noah, if you've got any advice for me, man, shoot it over. I would appreciate it. I've got a ton of plush. I got a ton, and I mean ton. I've got hundreds of like music t-shirts that I need to get going on. They just take me so long to list on here. Yes, I sell about 400 to 600 items a week now. Wow, just takes time for sure. I buy storage unit and estates. Okay, that's great. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, band tees. I've got like 200 band t-shirts. Like everything from, and not a lot of, I probably have some vintage stuff in there, but I would say most of it's from like 2008 to like modern stuff. Yes, takes consistency and growing on there for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Just like anything, right? Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I'll follow you. If you want to follow me on Whatnot, I appreciate it too. I'll follow you and check out some of your shows. I was watching a couple t-shirt shows last night just to kind of get the lingo, because a lot of it is like, I don't even know what they're saying on there. So yeah, I'll give you a follow. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Hey, Kelsey. Okay, so let's see. What else do we got on here? So 822, our tags on this are going to be, let's look at our description. Let's pull this up so you guys can see which ones I'm talking about. These are 2018 559s. And this is just a nice little bread and butter pair of pants. They are new with tags. I believe, is this the right listing? Let's take a look here. Yeah. So this is a new with tags item. Pick these up at a garage sale here locally for $2. They are a larger pair, and these always sell really well for me. So these are a 46-30. So these are technically what's considered a plus size pair of pants. And the new with tags, I mean, this is just a no-brainer pickup. So we're going to do, for our tags, we're going to do Levi's because we always do that. I'm going to do NWT for new with tags. And then what else do we got on here? It is a modern pair. We're going to do plus for plus size. We're going to do loose is a really great word for baggier, for larger sizes, loose and baggy too. Just so the person that's purchasing knows they have a little bit of room. I'm also going to do normcore, and normcore is a great word for just a normal pair of pants. Someone's buying a normal everyday pair of pants. It's just a normal person that needs a normal pair of pants. And then also classic core. So this is just a little classic pair of Levi's. And I always start with the first three that I do are going to be the ones that I know are the most important because those are going to be my first three on Poshmark. 5 is going to be Depop, and now 7 on Mercari, 10 on Grailed. And then scrolling down here, so US size on this is going to be, what did we say these were? 46. So 46. And then under size type, it's going to be regular. Now, a lot of times people would think, oh, you should put big and tall. The answer is no, because they are not big and tall. They are bigger, they're plus size, but they're not tall. They're a size 30. Now, if these were a 46, 36, you could classify that as a B and T, which is big and tall. The weight on these is going to be 2 pounds. So we got to make sure that we put that on here because it's a lot of material. We don't want to get, in trouble on Mercari. The price on these is going to be $33.25, which is going to round it down to $33 on Poshmark. These pants new are like $58, $60. So the person's getting a good deal. I'm getting a great deal because I only spent $2 on these and they have the brand new tags. So size on these are going to be, now the tricky thing on Poshmark is you do have to scroll down and do big and tall on Poshmark. If you don't, then you are going to end up with it not having the correct sizing for you for something of this size. So original price on this, we're going to go ahead and just put 59. Am I going to spend the time to look that up? Absolutely not, but they're somewhere in that range. And we're going to list that on Poshmark. Over on Mercari, it's going to be the exact same thing. Let's see, I got to take my glasses off for a minute. My eyes are starting to hurt. And we're going to do buyer pays as always. Shipping label on this is going to be the UPS SurePost up to 4 pounds, which is $8.99 on Mercari. And we're going to get that listed. Now, the only time I will really fudge with the Mercari pricing is if I've got an item that's like $180, I may mark that down to like $175 on Mercari because I don't have to pay any fees on that. But most of the time I don't mark it down because you know what? Time is money and money is time. Source on these is going to be dead stock. The age is going to be modern. The reason these are dead stock is because they're 2018s. They do not sell these in the store anymore and they still have the tags on it. Style on these is going to be streetwear, it's going to be casual, and it's going to be, let's see, we're going to do utility. Sure, why not? Make something up. Okay, and then the size is a 46. Sure, see, and this is why I write this stuff down. 46. Did we say it was a 46? I think we said 46. Am I tripping? 46? Yeah, 46. That's what it was. Perfect. And then shipping price on these is going to be a little bit more. So I'm going to put on $8.90 on these. I usually do $8.50 for jeans, which covers all my costs, but this is a heavier pair of pants. So we're going to list that on Depop and moving right along. Did I miss anything? Finally, when I get to using all these cores, no one will be using them. I think people will use it for a while. I have a feeling that it's something that's going to stick around. I'm going to watch this video back in a year and be like, I was telling an untruth, but hey, Jen, you got the #1 gifter badge. You. I'm feeling a little silly today. Is there fees over a certain price on Mercari? No. So on Mercari, are you talking about like the seller fees? On Mercari, there is no seller fees. That all goes over to the buyer. So that's why I lower the price a little bit. because I don't have to pay those fees, and it makes it look less expensive on their end than it is on mine, or than it is for other people's. On Depop, they supposedly got rid of the seller fees. However, they didn't. So what they did is kind of split it. So the buyer pays part of it, the seller pays part of it. At the beginning, I was trying to calculate that and discount, and I'm like, this is way too much work, so we're not doing that. All right, the next thing that we're doing is some shirts that actually sold on, what happened to these shirts? It's a set of 2. Oh, I remember. I sold these over on Mercari, and then the person canceled the order. So it delisted everything. So I have to relist these. These are 2XL Carhartt shirts. So I like to bundle things up in my listings. So, and I can't show you because I don't have these listed anywhere yet, but excuse me. But if I've got 2 things that are essentially the same, they're both under $10 items, I will generally put them together. So I've got pictures of these. These are 2 Carhartt shirts. Because otherwise selling them separately would have been, by the time the person pays for shipping and everything, these are used, just a used basic t-shirt. So I put these together. So this is a set of 2 with pockets, and then we're going to look here. And the nice thing is, because I'd already inputted all this information into Vendoo before they sold, is all of this is still here. So everything's already here. I don't have to change anything. So all we have to do is click on, here, we're going to click on, let's see, list it to eBay, and we're going to list it around. We're going to go to copy item because it's already sold on here previously. So it's going to be a weird. So we're going to go to the copied item, and we're going to get this on here. Make sure everything's on here. We're good. Quantity 1. That's the only thing that'll be changed. So whenever you sell something on a platform and you got to resell it, I haven't found a quick way on Vendoo to do this besides just doing copy listing. So I always just go into copy listing. I put it down, and then I just kind of check to make sure everything is correct. If for some reason you don't see your description, then all you have to do is go back to the other one and just copy and paste all of that. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay. Perfect. Okay. And that should be good. All right. I think I'm right on the weight on those. I wonder if I should reweigh those. I feel like that weight's weird. I might click. I might wait to click on that. Don't mind me. I'm just talking to myself. I think the weight on that's funky. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to reweigh those. Note to self. Okay. All right. Moving along. We have a 2007 t-shirt. Oh, this one's really cool. I'm actually surprised that this hasn't sold yet. Oh, I see why it didn't. All right. This is a good learning experience. So we got 2007. Oh, let's just type in forbidden and then we'll find it. So this is something I knew would sell on Depop. For me, different platforms sell differently. And what I mean by that is, like, if it's a weird, strange, unique item that's kind of like a Y2K aesthetic, or 90s, I'm almost always going to sell it on Depop. And I've been really surprised that this didn't sell yet. And I just realized why, because it listed on eBay, it listed on Poshmark, and it listed on Mercari. And for some reason, the listing hadn't gone through on Depop. So let's take a look and see if we can tell what the problem is. From Depop, there was an issue in processing this item. Please check the marketplace that the item is not listed before trying again. So let's pop over to Depop and just make sure that that's not in my store. That's interesting. So that's why it hadn't sold there. That makes sense. Let's see. So we want a 2017. I wish that there was a super awesome way to quickly look stuff up on Depop, but there really isn't. 2007, and this is an expedition. So what it is it's a Jurassic Park shirt. Or I'm sorry, it's not Jurassic Park. It's got like the claws from the Jurassic Park dinosaur, but it's part of the Walt Disney Expedition. And I'm not sure if that was, yeah, I don't see it on here. So it is not listed on here. We're going to mark as, we're going to go to list item and see if we're still going to get that. Are we still going to get the little thing that's saying it doesn't like it? Nope, we're good. So that just goes to show that how important cross listing is, because I was wondering why this hasn't sold yet. I'll show you guys this t-shirt. It was one of those pickups I got. And I was like, oh, this is going to sell so fast. But sometimes it's the things that you think will sell. So it's got like these claw marks on the front of it. And then it talks about like Expedition Land and Walt Disney, Legend of the Forbidden Mountain. And it looks all three-dimensional. So it's totally a Depop item. And then it doesn't have a back. Oh yeah, and on the back it says Expedition Leader. So I was really surprised this hadn't sold yet. I almost guarantee you this sells in the next week on Depop. Yeah, you're welcome. Just the cash out fee on Mercari. Yeah, so on Mercari, I wait to get at least over, for me personally, I usually wait to get over $100 stacked up in my Mercari before I cash that out, because they are going to charge me $2. So like I said, I'm a penny pincher. I'm someone who likes to save money. So I am going to, like, I don't want to give them any more money than I need to, right? Because Mercari's just charging that because they can. Like, my husband runs a delivery service online. I know all about fees and like, all that kind of stuff. So Mercari's like, oh, if we can make $2 off this, let's do it. So, all right. So that's listed. Moving along here. That is what is this here? This is a moonlit ballet, Wales in Seattle. So this is another item that listed on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. For some reason, it did not list on Depop. So how I found this is, what I do is usually like once every couple weeks, I go through all my listings and I change vendors so I can see 290 listings all at once. And I just scroll through and I look to make sure 4. I'm making sure everything's listed everywhere. And usually I'll come up with like 4 or 5 things that didn't list properly on whatever thing, or it glitches out or something. It happens. Life happens. I'll show you guys what this looks like. This is actually a really cool thing. If this was a larger size, I think I probably would have sold this a lot faster, but it's a youth size. So if you look here, it's a vintage Seattle, like the Seattle Aquarium-ish situation. The Moonlit Ballet, protect and preserve Seattle. The graphics on this are sick. Like, this is a t-shirt that because I love graphic t-shirts, this is a t-shirt that if I had, if it was my size, I would not have gotten rid of it. I would have kept this. That is an easy keep. Like, I already kept an Umbrella Corporation this last week, so I can't keep any more. But it's like I have rules for myself to keep myself from keeping all my t-shirts, I find. But it is sick. It's so beautiful, but it's just too small for me. So somebody that's like a smaller petite person, or someone that's like maybe a teenager, or they want to get it for their kid, it's a 1997. I don't think it's ever been worn. It's a jerseys. Oh my gosh, look at the tag on this. So this is a tag bolo. If you guys ever see the jerseys tags like that, that is old again, and it's still shiny. The tag itself is still shiny, which means, this thing has not been used. This is probably like grandma got this for their grandson or granddaughter when they all went to the aquarium together, and the grandson in 1997 or the granddaughter was like, I'm not wearing this. So it got folded and put in a memory box or something. They're cleaning out their stuff. They throw it out in the garage sale. That's got to be what this is. I love to come up with scenarios of what happened and how people got stuff. Is that silly? That's what you do? Okay, cool. Sugar's here. Sugar. Oh, honey. Hi, Dina. How cowboy up? Bailey. Okay. So we're going to go over to Depop and we're going to see why this didn't list. Because the condition didn't get put on. So we're going to do like new on this one because it's literally like new. And then the size on this is, let's see, what is this? Because this is technically a youth. I think it's a youth small. Yeah, it's a youth small. So we're going to do other. So what I do on Depop, because for some reason they don't have like just youth sizings on the sizing. So I just put other on there. Do you guys hear that? Did you hear that? That's Sally. Where's Squeakies? Where's Squeakies? You want to get Mama? Come here. She's not supposed to be in here, but I just realized it's past lunchtime. So this is Sally, everybody. Say hi. Hi, baby. This is Sally. Her full name is Salarina Lugosi Roscolina Rabici, Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, or Meatball. We usually call her Meatball. Meatball with the marinara. She's like, Mom, it is past noon and you haven't fed me yet. Look at those ears. I know, right? Is this like so ridiculous? All right. Jack, you want to say hi too? Come here. I know you guys are in here. You're not supposed to be. This is Jack. Say hi, Jack. All right, you guys. I'll come out and feed you. Just give me 5 minutes. Go find your Squeaky. Where's Octi? Go get it. Squeaky. Okay. She is a Jack. He's a Jack Chi. She's a Rat Chi. But that's amazing. Tracy, you're the first person to ever guess that. There are rescues from California. We got them when we were up in Washington. There was a lady up in Arlington that rescues terriers. So she rescues, she specializes in terriers. And so what happens is the kill shelters in California, she has a rescue that she works with, and they truck like a bunch of doggies up from California, and then she takes care of them until she finds them homes. So that's where we got them. I had a rat terrier. He is the best. She's great. She's so easy. Like all she wants to do is get fed and massaged. Jack, on the other hand, he is a Jack Russell Chihuahua. So he's a Jack Chi, and he's way more hyper, but he's so cute because all he wants to do all day is play catch. So it's easy. I love having him to have he's like my activity dog and she's like my snuggler. So that's great. I had a rat too. Yeah, they're so sugar. They're so great. My dog is a Jack mix, but we don't know the mix. Yeah, I mean, and these two probably have other flavors in there. I mean, there's definitely some flavors. What do you see? Is it a bunny? We might have a bunny in the backyard. You know, rat terriers. There's a bunny. Are you kidding me? All right, you guys, we're going to do one more together, and then I'm going to go feed these little critters and probably get some lunch myself too. So the next thing we're going to do is, this is interesting. So I've got a shirt here. All the rest of these I had already cross-listed, but for some reason, this one isn't cross-listed. So the question is, do we still have it, or did it accidentally not delist? So let's take a look. So SKU 281, I'm going to go look. I will be back in like 30 seconds. Hey guys, Mama's going to feed you just a minute. Mama's going to feed you just a minute. 281. 3. Yep. 281 is gone. Okay, so I think 281 is actually gone. So let's take a look here. This might have been a SKU mix-up because I've got one that looks just like it. Yeah, okay, so that's what I did. So this is 282. I accidentally put 281. So we just need to change that delist and then relist. So that's what happened. So I got a ton of these. By the way, guys, this is a Bolo. It's a really rare brand. It's really hard to find. I went to a garage sale and there was 14 of them. I got all 14 of them for I think $40. No, there was more than 14. He counted 14 and there was really 16 in there. I got it for $40, which I normally wouldn't pay up that much for t-shirts, but this is a really super sought after older brand. It's called Filter. So this is what it looks like. This is what the tag looks like. So it says Filter in cursive. So this is MMA, Affliction, Cyber, Medieval. Let's see, what were some of the other tags I put on this brand? Grunge, Cross, Religious, Cybercore, Insane, Fire, USA, Vintage, Skater, Y2K. Get this brand. I have sold all of them. This is the only one left. And the reason it's the only one left is because it looks like the SKU was wrong and I had only listed it on eBay. I did not have it listed on the other platforms. All of mine have sold on Depop, every single one of these. So if you're not using Depop and you sell vintage t-shirts, you've got to get on Depop. That is where you will sell them. My little girl is a Chip'em. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard that before. She is red and white, short-haired. Oh, adorable. Oh, yes, let's get to 2K. Thank you. Thrifty, you are always on it. I never even say anything. I just forget because I'm so busy. My brain's doing other stuff. So I love that. 253 flips. 253, by the way, I love your logo. Whenever you're on my feed thing, it catches my eye. That neon is super smart. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Vicky. Thanks, you guys. We're getting close. We're at 1.8. We're at 1.8. I want to get to 2 before I go feed these monsters. All right, so we're fixing that SKU, and then we're going to do our tags here, and our tags are going to be cyber core. We're going to do vintage. We're going to do MMA. We're going to do grunge, even though it's not really grunge at that aesthetic, but it is. And then we're going to do, let's do skater. 2.1. We did it. We're successes. Thanks, nurse. Oh, nurse has got the number 2 gifter badge. Thanks for the likes, guys. That makes me feel good. It lets me know I'm adding value to you. You're adding value to me, making me feel like I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. Okay, so we're going to get this sucker listed over on. So what I do, my method to my madness for delisting relistings is I'm going to save it. I'm going to delist it on eBay, and then we're going to relist it with the correct SKU. And then that'll be it for that. We're going to relist. We're going to list on here. Original price, we have no idea. But yeah, so let's see. I paid $40 for 16 t-shirts. What was the, let's see. So 16. So I paid $2.50 a t-shirt, and every single one of these t-shirts, depending on the rarity of it, have sold for anywhere between $23 and like I think 31 or 32 was the most. So let's just say 25 on average, 25 times 16. So that's $400. We made $400 on those t-shirts after fees and everything, taxes, blah, 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 blah. That's still like $310 or even if it was $300. I mean, that's like, holla. That's what I'm talking about. So let's get this listed over on eBay. Let's make sure everything's right. We don't want to screw up anything here. And perfect. Relist on eBay. And one thing that's really going to save me time is on my listings, I used to put like the price of like auto accepting on eBay. But now that I'm sending out offers, there's a rabbit. I guarantee you there's a rabbit in that backyard. Like, we're in Texas. I've never been anywhere where I have seen so many bunnies. We have so many bunnies. Like, at first we thought it was a fluke. So we're out there in the front yard, like taking pictures. Like, oh my gosh, there's a wild rabbit out here. And now I see them all the time. It makes up for the cockroaches and prehistoric bugs that fly around to see those cute little bunnies. Cute little guys. So we're going to do vintage, pre-loved, age, and then style. We're going to do Y2K. We're going to do skater, and we're going to do, let's do biker on that. We'll hit everybody. Brand is going to be other, because I don't even think this brand, I don't even have filter on as a brand on Depop. I wish you could put in your brands on Depop and it would start to like populate that brand, but I haven't seen that happen yet. It just always says other. All right, so we got that there. Okay, so that's listed everywhere. All right, you guys, I'm going to head out and feed these little guys because I am now technically 51 minutes past their lunchtime, and they're going to start getting aggressively insane. Yeah, it is really cool. I love having the bunnies. A jackrabbit rolled up on me one day when I was in Texas on vacation, scared me to death. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's got a deer magnet, by the way. A little fat guy. Yeah, it's got to be like a thing here in Texas. I just didn't know that there was such a rabbit situation. Like, and like where I live is kind of like considered hill country, so there's a lot of deer too. So I was really surprised to see that as well. You know, I saw that a lot growing up in Washington, but I didn't expect to see that here. Bunnies have evolved. Yeah, and these bunnies are like not afraid of people either. You can get like super close to them here. I mean, I don't want to get too close and get scratched or hurt them or something, but they're like super cute. So yeah. How are sales on Poshmark? Medium. I think I sold like 2 things last night. So not like super crazy, but I mean, I'm telling you, Depop's my number 1. Depop, eBay, followed by probably Poshmark and Mercari are probably about the same. And then once in a while's on Grailed. Grailed for me is like really unique and strange Nikes, really expensive vintage old like Tommy or Abercrombie, like super kind of more preppy styles. Now, I know a lot of people that sell like band t-shirts and stuff like that on Grailed. I put stuff up. I just haven't gotten any love on any of that on there. I'm going to try other platforms. Yeah, definitely. If you are ready to take your business to the next level and you're ready to like start cross listing other places, here's kind of what I think. This will be my last like 60 seconds here. Here's what I think sells best on the different platforms. eBay is like what I call like a grab bag. It's a little bit of everything. On eBay, I sell. There is no metric. It's sometimes it's pants, sometimes it's shirts, sometimes it's shoes. A lot of the weird little items I pick up at garage sales, like I just sold a couple statues. I sold an old statue of my mom's. I sold another old statue of my mom's. A vintage antique light fixture, Onesta dimmers. So a lot of like goods, right? And then over on Depop, Depop is all about like the younger generation. So that is vintage, Y2K, grunge, anything with like holes, pinholes, anything that. And I would say I primarily see males. I think I sell to more male people on Depop. That being said, I've got a lot of female customers over on Depop as well, but I would say it's generally male population. Now, I sell mainly men's clothes, so don't take my word on that, right? And then Poshmark, for me, I seem to sell generally the nicer kind of higher end stuff there. So like, you know, a Dooney and Burke bag or a Brahmin bag or Lane Bryant. I sell a lot of Lane Bryant over there, Torrid. So definitely women's stuff. I think I sell more over there. I am almost surprised when I sell men's stuff on Poshmark, which could be why I don't sell a lot of stuff on Poshmark. Again, most of my inventory is men's clothes. And then on Mercari's kind of like eBay, where it's like a grab bag. There is no rhyme or reason. It seems like people are looking for deals on Mercari. So I would definitely say that I get more lowball offers or more people wanting stuff really super cheap on Mercari, which maybe is why I stick to my guns on prices. And so maybe that's why I don't sell as much over there. And then, like I said, Grailed seems to be for me really expensive things, high end, really unique, vintage Jordan stuff, vintage Nike stuff, vintage women's dresses, like very vintagey, specialty, expensive stuff. You know, if I sell something on Mercari, it usually tends to be like $150 item. So you sell mostly men's clothing. Yeah. I sell a lot of eBay, but haven't sold clothes. I only sell 2 to 6 items a week on Posh. Yeah. Poshmark's not big for me. I don't know. Like I said, could be what I'm selling. There's people that make full-time living on Poshmark. So you just got to kind of go with like, what is your, here's my thing. I put it out everywhere. I find a need and I fill it. I buy things at garage sales. I put it out to the world, and where it sells is where it sells. And the second I think there's a rhyme or reason for something, I'm totally wrong and everything changes. Depop for me was crickets forever. And then all of a sudden in the last like couple months, you know, Depop is really algorithm based. Let me say this again. Depop is really algorithm based. Depop is really algorithm based. Take that. Depop wants you to post every day. I think they're even crazier about that than eBay. They want you to be, you know, delisting, relisting. They want you doing all the things. They want you being on there. They want you in the app. They want you to be active. And so I list a lot, and I list a lot every day on Depop. So that could be why I'm getting so much love on Depop too. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to go feed those little critters before they come in here and start nibbling on my toes, because that's going to be the next stage. I'm going to be like, no, don't eat my feet. I will be back on here later today. I am going to get the stuff listed that we just took pictures of yesterday. And then I will be back on here later today. I'm going to need to get some more photos. So join me later on today and we'll hang out. All right. Thanks, you guys. And thanks for the hearts. I appreciate it. We got to 2,000. It feels like a success. All right. Bye, fellow weirdo reselling people. Mwah. And bye to everyone on YouTube. Hopefully I did not miss any questions on YouTube. I would feel terrible if I did. So bye everybody on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And I will be back on later today, like I said, to do some photography. So join me and we'll hang out. All right. Bye everybody.